As you know, we've talked about this on the show. Explicit AI-generated images of Taylor Swift continue to spread across the internet, and they're just the tip of a very disturbing trend. Here to tell us more about how we can all protect ourselves from this is our relationship expert, Jess O'Reilly. Jess, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right, so these images, super disturbing. What should we all take from this? What should we all be aware when we see what's going on with these deep fakes?
You know, I think this is an issue that every single one of us is thinking about. Definitely anybody who has any public profile, social media, maybe you post pictures of your families. Now, I'll start with the positive. We know that there are so many potential benefits to AI in healthcare, in public health campaigns, in mental health, in offering support across the board. But the scary side, of course, is that we're vulnerable. We've seen radicalization campaigns. We've seen people faking that, it's a child calling their parents. So as soon as your voice, your image is out there, we have to care. And when we think about it, so Taylor was able to have it taken down, but none of us has the resources that Taylor has. So we have to be thoughtful about what we're putting out there.
And look how long, it took for it to come down and how much it had circulated before someone of her stature was able to bring it down.
You know, I'll tell you, I'm even nervous talking about it personally because I'm afraid of what somebody might do with it.
Right.
Right?
Well, let's talk about the psychological toll for anybody who might find themselves in this situation.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same as bullying and harassment, and we know higher levels of depression, anxiety. If we're talking about young people, it's absenteeism from school, dropping out of school. If you're an adult, you're missing work. So it kind of just spirals into personal, social, economic costs. And we know with bullying that the results can be really tragic, beyond depression, but also self-harm. So it's something we need to be really thoughtful about.
And how should we take care of ourselves and others if we do feel that we've been violated online?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because the first thing we do when we've been violated in a way where we feel a bit of shame and embarrassment is we make it all secret, right? We don't want to tell anybody because we're just rooted in that shame. But the most valuable thing you can do is rally your network of support, right? So tell somebody, talk to somebody, reach out, and don't suffer alone, because that's what I've seen. Obviously, deepfake and AI is newer. But we saw, for example, in the past, the parent of this might have been revenge porn. And when people would come talk to me, they'd say, this has been happening for 6 months, 8 months. I've never told a soul. So they're sitting in that shame. So forget the shame or speak up to combat the shame.
Okay, for somebody who does speak up, reaches out, if you are that person that you've been reached out to, what can you do? How can you support somebody?
Okay, so first of all, thank them so that they feel safe. Let them know that you believe them. Obviously, don't ask a bunch of questions that might be victim shaming, because we do. And I know that this is kind of in my blood. We'll be like, well, what did you do? How did this happen? Thank them and then ask them how you can support them. And then really importantly, because this is another mistake I see happening in areas that are adjacent to this, respect their privacy. So this is a hot topic. It's a stressful topic. We might want to tell somebody, oh, this happened to so-and-so, but make sure that you're not sharing their business with others.
Okay. Also, preventative measures, or what can we do to safeguard ourselves?
I think we need to get together as a community, number one, and we need to be involved or voting for policies that ensure that technology companies, big tech, when they're creating this technology, that they are held accountable, right? So they have safeguards in place to support the general public, not just their users. On an individual level, we need to not click on it, right? So we go back to the old school, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian's, even the very first one would be Pam Anderson, sex tapes. We have to not click on it. Of course you're curious. Of course there's this urge to click, but we need to not access that information. And then we need to verify our sources, right? And we need, this is kind of a across-the-board campaign. We need more media literacy in schools, and it needs to be changing, right? So it takes a long time to update curriculum, but we need to have supports in this area, this arena, because we know that tech is changing so quickly.
But apart from deep fakes, AI is also worked its way into the dating world in a fairly big way.
Yeah, absolutely. So not only are the dating apps using AI in their programming and offering options built in, but more users are actually using AI to date better. So to write a dating profile, imagine you had to write your own dating profile.
That'd be tough.
It's tough, yeah. I usually tell people to get a best friend or somebody to write it for them because you want to brag about yourself, but you don't want to say too much good, right? Now, the robots. AI can help you out with that. So 43% of AI users are using it to help write their dating profile with positive results. So 26% have gotten more matches, 27% say that the matches are better quality, and 32% have met a potential partner more quickly on account of AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get to those winter trends.
Okay.
I saw that one of them is called winter coating.
Yes, so those of us who don't have big sprawling houses, we kind of crawl into our crawl space and take the winter coat out for the season, and now folks are mimicking that in dating. They're going into their past, grabbing an axe and, getting back into it to keep them warm for the season. So, of course, you want to be honest if you're doing something like this. If you're not in it for the long term, don't give false hope.
All right,
Okay.
just slip that winter coat on to keep you warm for the season.
Right?
Yes.
My partner does that every night. I need him to keep, not that, keeps me warm every night.
Right. Long term.
He's like a heater, yeah. He's more than a winter coat.
Okay.
All right, up next is something called avalanching.
Avalanching, yes. So this is panic swiping because Valentine's Day is on the horizon, and apparently users are swiping on more matches and reporting that they're less picky. So 79% are swiping more, and 45% report that they're being less fussy about whom they are swiping on. So on one hand, I see this as a great thing. I think we need to let go of the checklist and be a little bit more open-minded when we date. On the other hand, I don't love that a day is putting so much pressure on people and that there's so much, I guess, sociocultural messaging around you must have a partner just for Valentine's Day that folks are scrambling to find a match.
Right.
Okay. All right. Next, second glance dating.
Okay, I'm so happy about this one. This is about being open to partners to whom you weren't initially attracted, because there's so much focus on sparks and meet cutes and chemistry, but so many people are hooking up with friends or dating people from their past. And so we had this research out of Kinsey, a partnership between Kinsey and Match, the dating app. 41% of people are doing this. They're realizing that they're attracted to someone with, where they didn't feel the attraction in the beginning, but now they're feeling it now. And I love that for the long term, because chemistry is something you have to cultivate in a long-term relationship. You don't just feel it.
Yeah, I would love to hear some of those conversations between people that are doing second glance dating, right? Just be like, I can't believe I missed this the first time around.
Right. Well, this actually fits with another trend, which is throwing back to dating folks from high school. So we're seeing people in their 40s, 50s, 60s who are connected on social media, and they're dating people that were just friends. Maybe they went to the prom with or something like that.
Right, yeah, interesting. So, all right, finally, there's data that shows that social withdrawal and loneliness is heightened during these cold winter months, Jess. So what are the best ways that we can combat this?
Yeah, we need to be really mindful, I think, as a community and come together. We live in a very cold country, and some cities are also colder in culture across this country. And I think we need to warm it up, especially for folks who live alone, seniors, and people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. And so small things, all right? So first of all, we have research showing that just being cold can make you feel more lonely. We also have research showing that just a short 5 to 10 minute phone call can help to ward off depression, anxiety, loneliness. For by the way, 25% of singles say that their loneliness is chronic and long term. So I don't like using the phone. A lot of people from my generation, we barely know that the phone is for phone calls, but I have to push my comfort zone to call the people in my life to have conversations, especially the ones who are older and who live alone. So if there's somebody today in your life that you can pick up and just have a short phone call, especially if it's a senior or something like that, go for it.
Okay. And if you're winter coating or avalanching or second glancing, just be open and honest about it.
Yeah, it's that simple.
It's all good.
And if you're doing any of that, you're on trend.
Yes, let's warm up this country. Let's connect.
You bet. All right, Jess, thanks for connecting with us today.
A pleasure. Thank you.